These artists were obviously never told that waiting is the hardest part.
20 million walking out the court, baby, whoa, whoa.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 unexpected album releases. For this list, we're looking at unconventional album releases, or ones that came out mere days or weeks after an announcement was made.
I bought this one a purse, I bought this one a truck, I bought this one a house, I bought this one a mall.
We're also including cases where audiences had no idea the musicians or artists were even recording and then dropped an album. Number 10, MBV, My Bloody Valentine. My Bloody Valentine hadn't released a new album since 1991, and had actually broken up in 1997 before reuniting 10 years later. So when MBV dropped out of nowhere in 2013, it was more than a bit surprising. Pre-breakup, the Irish shoegaze legends recorded a ton of material that went unused, and after reuniting, they finally got around to finishing their long-delayed third album, but failed to provide a release date until February 2nd, 2003. On that day, they also relaunched their website and put the album up for sale in both physical and digital forms. The comeback of My Bloody Valentine resulted in their website crashing and massive critical acclaim. Number 9, No Love Deep Web, Death Grips. Leave it to one of the most experimental, unconventional groups of the decade to go with the unorthodox release method. In 2012, fans were ready for a sophomore album from the hip-hop group, with them even canceling an entire tour just so they could work on it.
Bullshit, matador, grab your floor, rip it, grab 214, you ramble while I check my phone.
It was originally set for release on October 23rd, but after Epic, their label, refused to let them release it then, the Grips took matters into their own hands and released the record as a digital download on their website on October 1st.
My stone world is all down, gauge, duct tape to the ceiling, stuck, okay, make me alien, okay.
The incident led Epic to drop the band, and the band rebelled by using a rather risque, uncensored album cover. Just Google it. Number 8, Black Messiah, D'Angelo and the Vanguard. It had been 14 years since the R&B artist and sex symbol that is D'Angelo had released a record. As the 2000s wore on, it didn't look like we were getting any new material from the guy behind Untitled How Does It Feel? But just as 2014 was coming to a close, D'Angelo finally dropped his long-awaited third album. Black Messiah was originally set to come out the following year, but it was sped up due to the public outcry surrounding the deaths of Michael Brown and Eric Garner. D'Angelo's return was met with rave reviews and commercial success, hitting the top 5 of the Billboard 200 and topping the R&B hip-hop charts.
I'm about to hit you with the work, boy. I hate
Number 7. If you're reading this, it's too late. Drake.
I'll admit it. You haven't been a man for like a minute. I told you that I'm in it for the long haul. You can really get the business.
Drake is a prolific artist to say the least, seemingly releasing a new single or mixtape every other week. In 2015 though, everyone was looking forward to his 4th solo album, rumored to be called Views from the Six, due later that year.
I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got a lot of people trying to drain me of this energy.
But much to everyone's surprise, on February 13th of that year, Drizzy dropped his cryptically titled 4th mixtape to an unsuspecting audience.
I was running through the 6 with my woes. You know how that shit go.
While Drake insisted on calling it a mixtape, it was fully featured enough to be considered an album. Fans, meanwhile, were more than tided over, and the project debuted at the top of the Billboard 200.
With my woes.
Number 6. Star Wars, Wilco. On July 16, 2015, alt-rock fans woke up to find that acclaimed band Wilco had just released a new album online, and they were giving it away for free. This was the second album the band had released through their own label, but the first one they had dropped without any warning. While it wasn't a huge chart success by mainstream standards, it was an indie darling that received rave reviews. Many publications even named it as one of the best albums of 2015, and as probably expected from the track list and the cover's rather unspacey cat, the album has nothing to do with Star Wars. Go figure.
I got a bone to pick. I don't want you monkey mouth.
Number 5. To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar.
I'm mad, but I ain't stressing.
Following the wild success of Good Kid, Mad City in 2012, Kendrick Lamar took his time with his follow-up record. As he began to release new singles near the end of 2014 and early 2015, Kendrick announced the album just 2 weeks before it was set to come out on March 23rd.
I love myself. The world is a ghetto because of Dickie sign. I love myself.
However, the album was leaked onto Spotify and iTunes a full 8 days before that, apparently caused by a mistake on the part of the record label.
Then we gon' be alright.
We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright.
It was quickly taken off iTunes after its initial release, but remained on Spotify, where it broke several streaming records and received rave reviews, with many calling it an instant classic.
They walk and talk, they tell me to go deep. Yelling at me continuously, I can see your defense mechanism is my decision. Knock these walls down, that's my religion.
Number 4. Songs of Innocence, U2.
Every breaking wave on the shore tells the next one there'll be one more.
This is the album on the list that a majority of you have probably heard, whether you wanted to or not.
I got your light inside of me.
At an Apple press conference in September 2014, U2 came on stage to perform a song from their upcoming album. Then Apple CEO Tim Cook joined to drop a bombshell. The album was finished and already sitting in the iTunes library of every user free of charge.
You let me into a conversation only we could make.
Even though it might have seemed like Apple and U2 were doing fans a favor, Songs of Innocence became infamous due to its unexpected digital release, which even resulted in thousands of iTunes customers rallying against Apple for putting an album in their library without their consent.
I woke up at the moment when the miracle occurred.
Number 3. The Life of Pablo, Kanye West. After 2013's minimalist Yeezus, the enigmatic Kanye West built up hype for his 7th studio album for a long period of time. He quenched his fans' appetite with sporadic single releases and constant title changes, with the album starting development as So Help Me God, then switching to Swish and Waves, before settling on a title influenced by Pablo Picasso.
We on a ultralight beam. We on a ultralight beam. This is a God dream. This is a God dream.
And then during his performance on Saturday Night Live on February 13th, 2016, The Life of Pablo finally dropped exclusively on Tidal. Except this wouldn't be its only release, as Kanye has modified and added several tracks onto the album since its debut, making The Life of Pablo the first album fully released that might never be fully finished.
For all the girls that got dick from Kanye West, if you see him in the streets, give him Kanye's best.
Typical Yeezy move.
I guess I get what I deserved on her. Word on the streets is they ain't heard from him. I guess I get what I deserved on her. Talk down on my name, throw dirt on him.
Number 2, In Rainbows, Radiohead. For their 7th album, the famously weird and experimental alt-rock legends, Radiohead decided to forego industry practices leading to its release. Since their contract with label EMI had ended at that point, Radiohead decided to keep information about their upcoming project secret until 10 days before its October release. They announced that the album would be released digitally, while also saying that people will be able to pay whatever they want for it, including the ability to pay nothing at all for it. In Rainbows became a major game changer for the industry, and the band kept up the secret release schedule with their next 2 albums, 2011's The King of Limbs and 2016's A Moon-Shaped Pool. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I'm so special. Soundboy burial. This my Wayne Perry flow.
Please recognize I'm trying, baby. I feel it's me. I feel feeling like an animal with these cameras all in my grill. Flashing lights, flashing lights.
Number 1, Beyonce. Beyonce.
Hey, baby, I want you. Nah, nah. Can't keep your eyes off my petty daddy.
All hail the Queen. On the early morning of December 13th, 2013, Beyoncé blindsided the music industry by releasing her 5th studio album with no announcement, hype, or fanfare, becoming the biggest pop star to drop a record literally out of nowhere.
Your face is all that I see. I give you everything, baby, love me lights out.
Once the world recovered from the shock, they sent the album to number 1 on the Billboard 200, and many artists soon adopted the practice of unexpected album releases. There's a reason why a majority of the entries on this list came out after 2013. Queen Bee started a phenomenon with her self-titled record and expanded on the practice she started by doing the same thing with her 2016 follow-up, Lemonade.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information. I slay. Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
So, do you agree with our list? What albums caught you by surprise?
Forget about your house of cards and
For more musical top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.